hot. Yeah, everyone. Today we are doing Cooking with Archie episode 3, pizza time. So what we're gonna need is 650 grams of flour. Obviously, get your weight, your scale thing, set it to grams, and carefully try not to get flour everywhere. Right, 650 grams, are you serious? Right, so we messed up measuring, so I'm taking it down to 100 grams, which should only be enough for one pizza, not 6. And now I've got 100 grams, I'm going to put about a teaspoon of Allison's yeast, dried active. Allison's yeast. And just get that in there. And just a sprinkle of salt. Perfect. And then 10 ml of milk. Or it says warm milk, but we're just going to stick some milk in. What I'm doing is I'm putting this over it, so if I spill some, it's okay. Let's do one more. This is 5 ml. Perfect. Next we're going to use a splash of olive oil, so shouldn't need too much. Like that. Sounds alright. And then we need 50 ml of warm water. So I'll just stir it up with a spoon first. There you go, mix it all. That should be quite alright. I'm going to put a little bit more in. Then I'll get back to you when that's done. So all the water's in, got all that away, and right now I'm just going to knead it for a bit with my hands, so after I finish kneading, I'll get back to you. Right guys, so we found out that we didn't have that much dough, so we doubled up the recipe. So if you're wondering, we've had 200 grams of flour, 100 millilitres of water, 20 millilitres of milk, 2 teaspoons of yeast, a bit of oil and a bit of salt, and then you'll be right. So I've nearly finished kneading it now, guys. Right, finished the dough now, looking pretty smackable. Gonna wrap it in tinfoil because we don't have any cling film, so we're gonna let it set for a bit. So bear with us. Okay, so now we're preparing the tomato sauce, which is gonna go on top of our pizza. We've got half an onion, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dice it like so. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the onions, stick them in the pan with a bit of oil, and let them fry. As you can see, use a knife to slide them into the pan. Perfect. Don't forget the oil. Don't need too much, I don't think. I'm just gonna go. Not obviously. So you're gonna want to put the stove on high heat at first. Let the onions proper get fried. Then reduce the heat and let it simmer. Not simmer. Fry. So, after the onions have started to fry, put them on a really low heat. You've got it on 1 on the electric stove, and stick the lid on, and you'll be right. So that the onions can soften. Right, so we've let the onions soften for a bit. Now we're going to put the whole can of pulper chopped tomatoes. So, crack it open. Bang it in. Still got more. So next we're going to add the herbs to our sauce. First we've got half a teaspoon of garlic granules. So unscrew the cap. Put a tiny bit more. I like my garlic meat. There we go. 1 teaspoon of oregano. So that'll do. And finally, a teaspoon of basil. Perfect. Now let's stir. Now this is a herb commonly used in Italy, rosemary. Quite nice. This is optional. You don't have to have some, but I'm just gonna sprinkle a bit of that in. That'll do. Don't need much. Bring that in. Okay. So at the moment, it's looking a lot like bolognese. So we want it to look like pizza sauce. So what I'm gonna use here is a blender. Obviously you can use your normal bog standard blender that you have on the side, but this is a hand blender that I'm just going to use. So, you ready? Nearly do this, I'm scared. Now what you're gonna have to do is put the lid on, let it simmer for a little bit just to make it into puree. Now you can do this for ages, but we don't have that type of kind of time, so we're just gonna do it quickly. Yep. So, dough's been sat in the fridge for about an hour now. We get a bit of flour and we get it on the table. We get the dough, smack it down, and what I'm just gonna do is roll it in the flour for a bit. I'm not to show what I'm supposed to do after, so I'm just kneading it a bit more. I've got now this pudding rolling pin. I'm going to just get some flour on it so that the dough doesn't stick to the rolling pin. And I'm just going to put pressure on it, roll it out. There you go. And if you want, a bit more flour, other side. Perfect, like that. Flip it over. Same thing, just keep doing this, make sure it creates a nice circular pizza bread dough. There you go, Chubby. You liking the look of this dough?
Yeah.
Same. Reckon that's big enough. So, we've got a pan, nice and round, just stick the dough on it, and crust now. So what you're going to want to do for the crust is, so you just got to fold it over a tiny bit, because don't forget, this dough is going to rise in the oven, it's going to get massive. I like my pieces quite thin, so I'll get back to you when I finish doing the crust. Didn't have to be perfect, this dough, this pizza. It's your creation, do what you want with it. So, done the bread, done the crust now. What I'm going to do is put the puree sauce and the cheese on. So, get back to you. So, let the sauce cool down so we don't water in the pizza. I'm going to stick it on now. So, I'm just going to get a little spoonful, stick it on. With the back of the spoon, you just want to... Got the sauce on, nice and even. Don't have to do it all the way. Up to the edges is fine, you know. And we've got 2 types of cheese here. Grated mild cheddar and grated red Leicester. Leicester. So, as I'm going to put I've got 2 bits of cheese. I'm not going to put loads on. Just nice and evenly spread. Right, so cheese is on. Fans on the oven. 4 degrees, max temperature. Gonna bang the pizza in. And you're ready. So here we have the finished product. I'm just gonna cut it and then I'll get on with the review. So here we've got the final product. Obviously you can see the Leicester cheese and the cheddar cheese. Nice temperature, nice and thin, how I like it. Crust is not too thin, not too strong. Time for the taste test. It's hot. Nice. I rate this pizza side 8 out of 10. Signing off.